A while ago I made a video on the trams of Zagreb, Croatia, and y'all loved it. So now it's finally time to cover the other transit motorboat in the city, the cable cars. I visited Zagreb, Croatia back in 2025 and I had a great time there. I had a lot of fun exploring the tram system, but I also got to explore a transit mode I'd never ridden before, the cable cars, a gondola lift system at the edge of the city. The cable car line, part of Zagreb Transit Agency ZET's transit network, runs from Gondola station at the bottom of the line near the Mihaljevac tram stop up to the top of the nearby mountain peak, Sljeme, with an intermediate stop at Brestovac. At the bottom station, you can change to tram line 15 towards the city, which is how I got here. And I do apologize for any mispronunciations, I still don't speak Croatian. Buying a ticket was straightforward, so all we had to do was wait for an available car to come into the station. So yeah, they just really swing in every few seconds, and you just get on one. Kinda crazy. You guys can't see it that well, but that one has no one in it because the staff down here are just sending pizza in that gondola up to the top. They don't stop moving, but they do slow down to let you get in and find a seat. We don't have our own cabin on the way up, so this will largely be voiced over. But the doors close automatically and the car grabs onto the cable for the first segment of the ride, which is actually really short, just under 100 meters. Even though it looks like a station, the point of this building is to shift the angle of the cable car line so it aims up the mountain. It's not like an electrical wire that can just change its angle at one point, like you'd see with transmission lines and telephone poles, so the cable car needs more distance to make this 28-degree turn. Once we're through this slow but important section, we enter the longest uninterrupted section of the route, with no stations or bends, just support posts every now and then. The whole line is about 5 kilometers, or about 3.1 miles long, gaining a net 754 meters, or about 2,474 feet, or nearly half a mile, in elevation from the beginning station at the bottom to the end station at the top going up the mountain. So you can definitely see the elevation gain while you're riding the cable cars. For the majority of the route, you're pretty high off the ground with excellent views of the natural landscapes of the mountain. It's also worth noting how quiet the cable cars are. It's really quite a pleasant ride. And while there isn't air conditioning, there are air vents to ensure air flows in the enclosed cabin while you're moving. You may also notice how slow the cable cars move. This is not a bad thing, but rather just a limitation of this mode of transit. The cars can go up to 6 meters per second, or 21.6 kilometers per hour, or just under 20 feet per second, or 13.4 miles per hour, though the regular speed seems to be closer to 4 meters per second, or 13.1 feet per second. Sometimes cars operate slower, presumably in cases of higher wind, so the whole route takes anywhere from 16 to 22 minutes, according to transit agency ZET. Though on the cable car website, the time is listed at 22 minutes, making that slower 4 meters per second operating speed look more like the norm for the line. And y'all know I love when transit agencies publish technical information and fun facts about the transit lines. It makes research a lot easier. So you can find most of this information just right on ZET's website and the cable car's website, including the facts that there are 84 total 10-person Omega-4 cabins from Doppelmayr CWA, with the cable car line carrying up to 1,500 people per hour, though with the slower speeds, it's more like 1,000 people per hour. It's worth noting though that not all of these cabins are in use all the time, as there's a neat gondola storage area at the lower station at the bottom of the mountain. Eventually, we slow down for the intermediate station at Brestovac. The doors of our gondola open automatically as we inch along the platform. Eventually, though, we pass through the station and get to go through my favorite part of riding a cable car line like this again. Getting launched forward as our car leaves the station and grabs onto the higher speed cable to take us further up the mountain. To clarify, the individual cabins are not what drive you forward. The cars don't slide along the cable, instead the cable is what does the work as cars log onto it. And the motors that move the cable are actually at the intermediate station at Brestovac. So yes, there's a separate, slower system that pulls cars along what looks to be some kind of overhead rail through the stations, as having the main cable drive the cars through here would create an unsafe situation of really fast cabins zooming through station platforms. After a little while, we reach the third and final station at Sljeme, at the top of the mountain. Alighting is just as easy as boarding, note the level platform, and it's just a few steps out into the mountain air. This whole area is perfect for spending time outdoors, with spots for hiking, biking, skiing, and more. and the cable car design really reflects that, with places for skis and being big enough to fit bicycles. So this transit line really isn't just there to take tourists up the mountain, though it certainly can do that, as evidenced by this video, but it serves as a vital link for people in Zagreb to get to this large natural area with a lot of different activities. After exploring around the mountaintop for a bit, we headed back to the admittedly very nice cable car station to board a car going down the mountain. Gotta scan the tickets. Very nice. Overall, pretty simple cabins. Alright, so we're headed back down. We actually have our own cabin this time, so I feel not weird talking to you guys. Overall, cable car ride up was amazing. We didn't really do anything at the top because we wanted to see other things in Zagreb. But if you're ever here, cable car, 100%, you gotta do it, I have nothing but nice things to say about it. Reminds me, I've never ridden anything like this before. I've ridden, aerial things, transit-wise, like Roosevelt Island Tramway in New York, theme park cable cars, but nothing like transit-wise exactly like this. So we have these little, breathing holes. We also have folding window panes that let you get some fresh oxygen in. Nice door, right? Just kind of automatically opens when you get to a stop. And I guess there's vents down here somewhere. Oh yeah, there are. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Awesome system, really. All right, here's the intermediate station. There's 2 intermediate platforms like this, but only this one is an actual station. The doors open automatically. I think they're somehow tied to the top and the rope location. I'm sure there's a thing in the ceiling that makes them do that. So then when you get to the end of the platform, you just kind of get zooming off out into the abyss. Seriously, what other transit line can you get views like this from? This is insane. So if you ever do have an emergency, you just push the little button and then you'll be connected to whatever staff is on the phone at that time. So I guess the one downside of this is if you don't like heights, you might have a hard time. This thing is pretty high up, and every time you pass a support tower, it does that. So if you don't like that, maybe don't ride this. There is a road to the top of the mountain. I don't know if there's buses. There is a bus. The 140 runs up the mountain, though you might be stuck waiting for a while. As you can probably tell, the cable car line is pretty new. It opened in 2022, replacing a 1963 system that closed in 2007 due to a motor failure. But the new line is really nice, and I'm glad a replacement line for the old system was built. I love that it's so quiet you can hear the birds chirping, because there's no motors on these things. So update, we just stopped. The entire rope just stopped. No one's moving. We're all just kind of bouncing. My guess is someone triggered some kind of break somewhere, maybe on a platform. I don't know. We're not near a station at all, so we're just kind of stuck. At least we got the birds to listen to, though. Oh, we're moving again. Excellent. Very slowly, though. Eventually we go through the non-station curved platform again, slowing down before preparing to make the final descent into the lower station. The ride comes to an end, unfortunately. A beautiful station, really. Of course, you got the tramway over to the right, so talk about good intermodal connections, excuse me. Before leaving the cabin, we get a nice view that turns the rope around for cabins to grab onto to go back up the mountain. It is just one continuous loop after all. After looking around the station a bit more, we head back to the tram stop to get a Line 15 tram back towards the city.
So, I guess I'll film the outro here, because, it's not going to get any cooler than this. So, thank you all for watching. By this point, I'm already at the bottom. But if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. I would totally recommend this transit line to anyone. Even if you don't like transit, this is just a phenomenal way to see the city from way outside, from way above, and then just take a nice ride through nature, honestly. So, yeah, with all that being said, I will see you on the next one. Have a good rest of your week. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you've ridden a cable car like this, or if you'd be willing to try it.
The cable cars of Zagreb are perhaps not the best for those with a fear of heights, though there is bus route 140 if you want to stay on the ground but still reach the mountaintop in a similar amount of time. But if heights don't bother you, the cable car line is a great way to take a break from the city and enjoy a little bit of quiet nature. I'd really recommend it if you're ever in the area, as it was one of the coolest transit lines I've ever traveled on. So thanks for watching, and again, I'll see y'all in the next one.